So, hello everyone, and welcome to today's weekend workshop. We're thrilled to have you back with us today. And I would love to have you just, introduce yourselves in the Zoom chat as we're getting started today. That would be fantastic if you take this moment just to do a little networking. For those who haven't met me, my name is Carrie Ramsey, and I'm the project manager for the Weekend Project, which is led by Queen's University. And so today, of course, we're going to be talking about financing solutions for your business, and in particular, the Canada Small Business Financing Loan. And so we're excited to dig into that. Go ahead and introduce yourselves in the Zoom chat. While you're doing that, I'll take a moment to acknowledge that Queen's University is situated on the unceded territory of the Huron, the Anishinaabe, and the Haudenosaunee peoples. And if anyone is interested in finding out where they specifically are located when it comes to the Indigenous territory, I'm putting a link into the Zoom chat called Native Land. And wherever you are on Turtle Island, you can learn a little bit more about the territory where you are situated. So today we have just 1 hour. I'm just going to call it a power hour with you, Valerie. Absolutely
Yeah.
thrilled that you are here to share your knowledge, your skill set with us. We have small business owners on the call, women entrepreneurs who are running their businesses, across different areas of Turtle Island, as I just said, Canada and the US, actually. So if you would like to just dive in, let us know a little bit more about how we can leverage this small business financing loan. Over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Carrie, and everyone for joining here today to learn a little bit about the Canada Small Business Financing Loan and the availability of it to expand your business, grow your business, start your business. It's a really great facility to consider. If you are looking to take advantage of this government-backed loan option. Before we dive in specifically into the Canada Small Business Financing Loan, I'm going to review just a couple of things. First of all, just going to give an overview of RBC and RBC Commercial Bank and how specifically we support women entrepreneurs and my role as a relationship manager in Kingston and area. I'm going to do a quick review of the different types of business financing that are available because ensuring that we're matching your business need to the right type of credit facility is really important to ensure that you are able to maximize that for your business while minimizing the cost. And then we're going to dig down into the Canada Small Business Financing Program, the benefits of it. I have a couple of use cases for properties right here in Kingston that I kind of want to walk through to kind of give you a practical example about how it's used. And yeah, we'll leave time for questions. If questions come up during the presentation, feel free to put your hand up. We can have a Q&A during the session. Banking can be a little bit of an in-depth topic, so happy to speak to any of the questions that you have. So Royal Bank of Canada is one of the largest and most respected financial institutions in North America with a rich history spanning over 150 years. Known for its commitment to innovation, client service, and financial strength, RBC serves 17 million clients globally, offering a wide range of banking, investment, and wealth management solutions. Within RBC, there's RBC Commercial Bank, and we specialize in supporting mid-sized businesses, providing tailored financial solutions to help them grow and succeed. So in my role as a relationship manager in business markets, I work closely with clients to understand the unique needs of your business and offer customized services, including financing, cash management, and trade solutions to help meet your business needs. At RBC Commercial Bank, we pride ourselves on building strong, long-term relationships with our clients, backed by the expertise and resources of a global leader like RBC. Our goal is to empower businesses to thrive in today's competitive landscape. So I am a relationship manager for RBC Commercial Bank in Kingston and area. I understand that there are people on the call from Kingston and beyond. So this is a role that we have right across Canada for businesses earning between $1 and $3 million in sales, or if you have credit needs that exceed $100,000. So with the business markets role, we provide advice, meet with clients, help build that business case for credit support, and ensure that you're connected with the right professionals within RBC and outside of RBC to ensure that your business is able to scale, grow, acquire loans. If you're looking to purchase real estate, we are your contact within the bank to help you navigate the growth of your business. So banking is something that you need to worry about less, and you can focus on your business more. RBC recognizes that empowering women in business is essential for driving economic growth and fostering innovation. This is why we've made a commitment to support women entrepreneurs and leaders through a couple of key initiatives. So the first is providing access to capital. We provide tailored solutions to help women-owned businesses secure the financing needed to grow and thrive. We also provide mentorship and networking, connecting women entrepreneurs with experienced mentors and peer networks to share insights, build relationships, and overcome challenges. We also provide educational resources through workshops, webinars, and online tools. RBC offers valuable resources to help women develop business skills and stay ahead in a competitive market. And we also provide advocacy and partnership opportunities, collaborating with organizations like Women's Enterprise Organizations Canada to amplify the voices of women in business and advocate for your success. By investing in women-led businesses, RBC is not only supporting individual entrepreneurs, but also contributing to a more diverse and inclusive economy. Together, we are building a future where women in business can achieve their full potential. So we're going to send out this presentation afterwards. There will be links to all of these resources for you to take a look at and see what opportunities might be available to your business. I am also happy to have these conversations offline to learn more about your business needs and who I could connect you with if you're outside of the Kingston region to help support you as you grow your business. This opportunity is super timely because the applications for the awards have just opened. They're open until March 20th. The RBC Canadian Women Entrepreneur Award celebrates the outstanding achievements of women-owned businesses across Canada. These awards recognize the innovation, leadership, and resilience of women entrepreneurs who are driving economic growth and inspiring future generations. As a proud supporter of these awards, RBC is committed to empowering women in business by providing them a platform to showcase their success and connect with a broader network of peers and mentors. This awards highlights the excellence in various categories, including innovation, growth, and community impact, reflecting the diverse contributions of women entrepreneurs. By recognizing and honoring these trailblazers, RBC aims to foster an environment where women-led businesses can thrive. We believe that supporting women entrepreneurs is not only essential for their success, but also for building a more inclusive and prosperous economy. So lots to dig into in the women in business side with RBC. If you know someone in your network or even yourself that should be recognized for your accomplishments as a women-led business or a woman entrepreneur, please fill out the form to be considered for these awards. We've had some pretty dynamic winners in Kingston and would love to hear more about your impact in the community. So let's get a bit into financing. So just a quick overview of the different sources of financing. Many of you have had experience raising funds for your business. Many business owners start out with their own funds, and some are even able to manage the entire business life without outside investments. So this is bootstrapping, and a common first step whenever you're growing your businesses. Most business owners engage in others to invest in the business as well. So whether it's with friends and families or angel investors or venture capitalists. This often can raise anywhere between $10,000 and for much larger companies, $20 million in return for partial ownership of the business. Other opportunities include government programs, although these are often overlooked because the information is not always easy to find. We do have at RBC a program called Grant Match. So RBC business clients get special access to Grant Match, but it helps identify government programs that meet the need of your business or nonprofit. So it's a really great partner that we have at RBC. It's available to those in and outside of RBC, but a great resource to look at so that you don't overlook those government opportunities. With financing, there's also financing and leasing companies. So if you're looking to purchase a specific piece of equipment, dealers will often offer competitive financing if you do it through them. So another way to finance some critical business purchases. And then, of course, we have the banks. RBC does all different types of financing depending on what your business needs and requires, and is often one of the first places businesses go when looking at their financing needs. So today we'll explore two critical financing categories, short-term and long-term financing, and how aligning the right solution with your business needs maximizes the benefits while minimizing the cost. So with short-term financing, these are all solutions for credit needs spanning 1 year or less. So this addresses the immediate cash flow challenges and opportunities. Common use cases include bridging accounts receivable or capitalizing on supplier discounts. Some of the key solutions that we offer and that are often used is overdraft protection. This automatically covers temporary cash shortfalls, allows you to avoid NSF fees and late charges, and interest is only applied whenever the overdraft is used, which makes it a fairly cost-effective tool. And repayment is fairly simple. When new funds enter the account, it replenishes the amount in your overdraft, and then the amount above and beyond that is entered into your bank account. Business credit cards. So we always encourage those to have a business credit card in addition to your personal credit card. Couple advantages to this. It helps simplify record keeping. It also allows you to ensure that your business expenses aren't taking up the cash flow required for your personal expenses as well. A really great way to use your business credit card to maximize your cash flow is if you have suppliers that provide, let's say, net 30 terms, ensuring that you are waiting those full 30 days before you pay the invoice. If you are able to use your credit card to pay that invoice, then you gain an additional 21 days of interest-free period for those funds, allowing the sum of your bill to stay in your bank account for 51 days from whenever you incur the original expense. So another great way, if you're able to use your business credit card in that sense, if you have suppliers that will allow you to pay by credit card, it also allows you to take advantage of points. The Avion Reward Program with RBC is rated one of the top credit card programs in Canada. We're also able to roll up your business credit card points right to your personal accounts as well. So you're able to benefit from both your business spending and personal spending whenever redeeming those types of awards. Business line of credit. So this provides flexible on-demand access to funds for cash flow management or growth opportunities. Often very cost effective. You only pay interest on the amounts used. And this ensures liquidity for time-sensitive needs. Short-term financing is a strategic tool for agility by leveraging solutions like overdraft protection, credit cards, or lines of credit, guarded operations, and you can seize opportunities without straining your long-term resources. So let's talk about long-term financing. So this is for cash flow or for assets that you are looking to pay over longer than a 1-year period. So it's a strategic tool for investing in assets that drive your business forward. The purpose of long-term financing is designed for big ticket items like equipment, vehicles, or renovations. This long-term loan aligns with the asset's lifespan, ensuring the payments match the useful life of what you're purchasing. Term loans are ideal for major purchases. These loans can typically range from 1 to 5 years. Again, it would depend on the life of the asset and what you're financing, with repayment schedules extending up to 10 years for certain assets. It helps provide predictable payments, making forecasting your cash flow easier. There's also the opportunity with major expenses, as we kind of talked about before, to looking to finance. So you can finance assets or you can lease them in some cases. Why we look at financing is it allows you to preserve the working capital for your business, spreading the cost out over time. So this is where we're going to dig a little bit into the Canada Small Business Financing Loan. It is a term loan that is supported by the government of Canada to help it make it more accessible to business owners looking to grow their business without having to strain your personal resources. So in terms of eligibility, this loan is for companies with current fiscal year gross revenue of less than $10 million, and it's here to assist with long-term purchases and working capital financing. So the maximum term loan we are able to do under the Canada Small Business Financing Loan Program is $1,150,000. That $150,000 is for working capital purposes and lines of credit. The $1 million can be used for different asset purchases. So what it's commonly used for: purchasing real estate, equipment, vehicles, financing leasehold improvements, intangible assets, and working capital. And through the Canada Small Business Financing Program, only 25% of the loan has to be personally guaranteed by the business owners, which is the big differential with the Canada Small Business Financing Program versus traditional bank loans. So, how much can you borrow? We've kind of reviewed this already. One of the other main differentials of the Canada Small Business Financing Loan is the amount of an asset that it can finance. So let's say, for example, you've purchased a van for $40,000. It's probably a used van at today's prices. With traditional financing, we would do an appraisal to get the full valuation of what that vehicle is worth and lend likely between 60 to 75% of the value of that asset. With the Canada Small Business Financing Program for equipment, we're able to lend up to 90% of the cost or appraised value of that vehicle. So whenever we're looking at the assets you're looking to finance, through this program, you're able to finance more of the purchase price because of the government guarantee of the loan. So I have some examples practically how this would work when looking at some business purchases that I'll get into in just a moment. What can be financed? So the purchase of improvement of land or building, equipment, leasehold improvements. There's also intangibles that are able to be financed through this program. So if you're looking at things like franchise fees, working capital, all of those would fall within that intangible asset class. We can only do up to $150,000 worth of intangibles within a Canada Small Business Financing Loan. So practically speaking, let's look at a real estate purchase. So this is an example of a property for sale in Kingston right now. So let's say you're a current business owner looking to move to a building, purchase a building, renovate it, and perhaps upgrade your equipment or buy some new equipment to fill this space. We would be able to finance with the Canada Small Business Financing Loan up to 75% of the purchase of that real estate. So with a total cost of $489,000, you would be able to receive a loan for $366,750 for any renovations that you're looking to do to that building to make it work for your business. We would be able to finance up to 100% of the cost of those leasehold improvements. And for any equipment that you're looking to put in, we would finance up to 90% of the value of that equipment. So for that total project cost, if you're looking to buy the building, do the renovations, and buy the equipment, the total project cost would be $664,000. You would be able to finance $504,000 of that project, allowing your investment to be just shy of $160,000. So this is significantly less than if you were looking through more traditional financing avenues. So it allows you to keep your money either in the business or personally for other purposes, and allow you to finance those additional assets. Another scenario that we commonly see is the purchase of a franchise. So again, another opportunity here in Kingston, if anyone's looking to get into the fitness industry. Orange Theory is for sale. So the price is $179,000. This is not for the real estate portion of the building. That is not for sale. So what would be included in that purchase would be listed in the sales agreement. So if you're ever looking at an opportunity just like this, the realtor would be able to give you a breakdown of what is included in those costs. Typically, we see leasehold improvements as part of the purchase, equipment, in this case, exercise equipment, and franchise fees. So those would be considered intangible assets. So you'll see in this case, given the asset classes of what you're purchasing, we have very high loan to value ratios, allowing you to minimize your investment to, up as low as $10,000. And you can finance $169,000 of this hypothetical purchase through the Canada Small Business Financing Loan. So again, because of the high loan to values, the Canada Small Business Financing Program makes these types of purchases and getting into business ownership and entrepreneurship a lot more accessible than if you had to do this through traditional financing methods. I'll take a break here just to see if anyone has any questions specifically about these examples or what we've discussed so far.
Sure. So if anybody would like to raise their hand, or you can put a note into the Zoom chat, we'll just
Yeah.
pause here for a moment. Valerie can have a sip of her coffee, and we could just. Oh, go ahead, Chantel.
Yeah.
Hey Valerie, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Um,
Thanks for being here.
I think I know the answer, but I have to ask. So I'm in a situation. I am building a wedding venue, um,
Great.
but it's on our residential property. Like it's on the property in which we have a home. And so when I talked, because I'm an RBC client, I have been all my life. When I talked
Yeah.
to them, they didn't talk about this as an option. Is this an option for me? Or because we have a residential home on the property, even though the land will be rezoned to commercial, this isn't an option for like building a venue.
So construction with the Canada Small Business Financing Loan is a little bit more tricky. Construction
Okay.
generally is typically privately financed.
Okay.
Depending on the size of the project that you're looking at, we have partners that we work with at RBC that would be able to structure it in a way that worked for you. So let's definitely talk and just
Okay.
ensure that you have all the options available to you with the Canada
Can
Small
I,
Business. Yeah.
sorry, can I,
Yeah.
so all I, this, so it's like what I'm building is a road and parking and a concrete pad. Then the rest is like a tent, a washroom trailer, generators, tables, chairs. Like there's equipment that I need funding to help kind of get off the ground. So would I be able to maybe get funding for that side of things? Like I'm just wondering, have I not been explaining it well enough to the rep that I was talking to?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, there could be parts of the project that are ineligible expenses under this funding
Okay.
program. But if you're looking at equipment and those different pieces to kind of build out and scale your business, absolutely,
Okay.
this could be an option to consider. Um, it's definitely not an all or nothing scenario
Okay.
with the Canada Small Business Financing Loan. So a really great option for where you're at with your business and the investments that you're looking to make. Because
Okay.
if you're looking at equipment and tents that could all be considered equipment, so then you would be able
Okay.
to finance up to 90% of that, which makes it a lot
Oh, wow.
easier to get what you'd like.
Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Can I connect with you after this?
Yes. Yes. I'm
Okay.
always happy to chat. Yeah.
Thank
We'll make
you.
sure that Valerie's contact info will be on the last slide. So great question. There's another question in the Zoom chat, Valerie, from Martha, which is the 25% guarantee by business owner for a loan. Is that personal assets or can business assets be used as well?
Yeah, so both can be used. So there's the 25% personal guarantee. So it's not something that we collateralize. We just need to show the ability for repayment because the loan is guaranteed by the government up to 75% of that. It allows the bank to only consider 25% personal guarantee. So whether it's a mix of business or personal assets, we would consider all of that as part of your personal net worth. So both of them would be considered.
Okay, Martha, you
Great
can
question.
comment further there in the chat if you need more. I'm not seeing any other questions, so we'll go on, and there will be some more time for Q&A, but we'll just make sure Valerie can get through it all. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, another quick program. I know it's not the program we're talking about today, but this is another similar type of a business guaranteed investment program called the Business Accelerator Loan Program. So it's exclusively with RBC and it's supported by BDC. This is specifically for working capital. So if you are an established business, you have to be over 12 months in operation. If you are profitable And if you are looking for access to capital to help you scale, but you don't necessarily have like equipment or specific assets that you're looking to finance, this could be another option that we could consider. You would get the amount of working capital in a lump sum, and then we would arrange a loan of that amount that could be payable over a 6-year period. So again, just allowing you to finance your working capital over a longer period of time. It's another great program. If you don't know exactly what you're looking to finance, where with the Canada Small Business Financing Program, we need a piece of equipment, we need, a real estate asset, we need to know exactly what it's going to. This provides more flexibility. So for those looking for working capital, another program that we can talk about offline that can help scale the business.
Valerie, can I ask a quick question? You mentioned the word profitable, and so for small business owners, that fluctuates from month to month. And so just curious
Yeah.
what profitable means to you.
Yeah, great question. So we look at your historical financial statements. So we would be looking at this case to ensure that the business has sufficient cash flow to manage operations in your current, to manage your current operations with the revenue that you're bringing in now. So this loan would be specifically for scaling, so to help you move further faster. But we would ask for your year-to-date financial statements or your latest accountant reviewed financial statements to determine that profitability. And
Great,
understanding that each year can be different. We can, and this is where kind of like our discovery conversations come in, like context is everything, right? If, let's look at everyone's financial statements from 2020, right? Things happen, businesses invest in different areas of the business. So, if revenue has dipped, but you've made significant investments, and the more bankers know about the situation, the more we can help, the stronger business case we can build.
Great, thanks for that.
And it's actually a great segue into this portion. And this is kind of like the last major piece that I wanted to dig into in terms of like what banks consider whenever you are applying or are meeting with them to talk about financing business. Even if we're looking at cash flow, credit cards, like these are the things that I would be prepared to speak to and understanding what bankers are looking at. So we want to know the purpose of the financing, whether it's for an operating line of credit, term loan, getting a better understanding of how your business is going to use that credit facility is super helpful for us, so that we know that we're setting you up with the right product to support your business, but B, also ensuring that if there's other opportunities or other introductions that we can make to help you finance that maybe in a more efficient way, that we can make that introduction for you. Sources of repayment, and this is where it comes to the point of cash flow and why we pay a special attention to those historical financial statements. We want to ensure whenever we're lending that you have the ability and cash flow support to repay the loan. The last thing anyone wants to do is to provide too much credit to a business that you're not able to make those payments. We never want to be the reason why a business goes out of business. So ensuring that the amount of credit that's being extended is reasonable for your business, so that you don't have to be concerned about repayment options. We look at personal credit history. Your personal credit score reflects financial responsibility. A strong history demonstrates your reliability in managing debt. Personal net worth gives us an idea, again, of repayment history. We all have bumps in the road when it comes to growing and building our business. So having a better understanding of your personal net worth gives us an understanding of your ability to repay. In the case where you have an off year, there might be some assets that you could leverage to ensure that you're still in compliance. Owner's investment. So we always like to make sure that business owners have skin in the game. Banks aren't in the business of cash flowing businesses. We help you revolve your cash flow for the business, but we always ensure that business owners have personal stake in the business as well. Access to reserves. So again, talking about repayments. We also look at your management experience, ensuring that whether, and this is actually most applicable when it comes to buying a business, do you have the skills that are required for this business to succeed? If we have someone who is, let's pick on the accountants today, an accountant who all of a sudden wants to become the owner of the Orange Theory in Kingston on Bath Road. We would want to know about, the team that they're bringing in. Is there experience running a gym? Are you keeping your current staff? Obviously we would have lots of confidence that the books would be done well, being an accountant, but we want to understand the full picture of the management experience and the team around you. And we look at financial performance. So as talked about before, we're looking at your financial statements and ensuring that the amount of credit being offered or extended to you is reasonable for you to repay, to ensure that we're not setting you up for failure. And we look at aging, accounts receivable, and accounts payable, just to ensure that you're paying your bills. For obvious reasons, the bank's very interested in that. So these are all things that we look at. A lot of this, I would encourage everyone, if you haven't already built a business plan, if you're speaking with your banker, whether it's with RBC or otherwise, that addresses these points, or specifically the use for the capital that you're asking for. That is such a helpful tool for us to be able to learn more about your business and what everything's going to be, what's looking to be financed, the amount of time you're looking to finance it for, so that we can propose the right products for you. So all these factors collectively shape lending decisions. Transparency and preparation around these areas will strengthen your financing application for the Canada Small Business Financing Loan and otherwise. Every situation is different. I have yet to meet two business owners who are approaching things the same way. The Canada Small Business Financing Loan is a great option for those who have funds to invest in the business, but perhaps don't have, 75% of the funds, right? Like 25% personal guarantee is a lot more accessible than other financing tools that can commonly be recommended. But every situation is different. So let's have a conversation if you do have something in mind. If we're not able to do it at RBC, we work with partners across the region that have different risk appetites for different opportunities. So if we're not able to do that, I'd be happy to make introductions to those who perhaps have more flexibility to do so. I think that's kind of the overview I wanted to provide, and take any questions that people have about banking generally, the Canada Small Business Financing Program. If you're comfortable chatting about them here, great. If not, we can connect offline.
Love it. Thanks, Valerie. Really, really helpful, just the whole full spectrum, because we do have a variety of folks on the call. And so, this is a great opportunity. If somebody wants to put their question in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand, let's address some of those questions. If it's one of those specific questions that Valerie does need to deal with offline, there's her email. So you don't have
Yeah.
to do this in a public forum. I want to make sure that you don't feel shy to ask the question. Do it privately if you must. That's obviously why she's here. But if there's a question that you think is generally also maybe of use to the group, um, that might be also a great question to ask. So, uh, have had some good ones already, and from business owners who are in the trenches, right? And that's what it's like to be in a small business or a medium-sized business these days. It's you feel like you're in the trenches, you feel like you're all alone. Today, we want to try to, broaden that perspective and at least feel like you have got others who are in a community of women entrepreneurs like you have today, also with big dreams. And so let's see if there's any questions that we can answer. So if there's not, we can wrap up for today. That's okay too, but we want to make sure to give you the opportunity. All right. Okay, here Tommy has a question. And so I just have to be able to go down to it. Are there any down payments in cash required from the borrower required for leasehold improvements? Let's start with that question.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah, great question. So the Canada Small Business Financing Program traditionally has been a reimbursement-based program. But there's two different ways we can structure it, because let's say we have a $600,000 project. We don't always have, that capital available to pay and then be reimbursed later. So for leasehold improvements, if you have an outside company come in, do the work, they can do the invoice out to the Royal Bank, and we upload it into a program called Built, which is where you kind of submit all your receipts, and then the bank will pay that vendor directly that 90% of the lease, or up to 100% for leaseholds. So they'll pay 100% of those costs. What business owners are responsible for are the tax on top of the invoiced amount. Because tax, you would be able to redeem that with your HST. It's not something that RBC is going to finance. So there's the two options. If you are getting it done quickly, just want to have them paid and reimburse, we could do it through the Built portal, or they can invoice the bank directly. The other benefit of the small business financing program is if you have done a project, if you're sitting here being like, oh, why didn't I know about this project like 6 months ago? I've already bought this equipment. We could do things retroactively as well. So if you have purchased like a large lot of equipment, we can look at invoices up to a year old from the time of approval, and then we can submit those for reimbursement as well. Another benefit, whenever it comes to leaseholds, knowing that, like in the case of, like you're purchasing a building and you're doing the leaseholds in there, there's kind of a couple different phases in which that work's going to start, right? You're first going to start with purchasing the real estate asset. So a big chunk of your loan is going to be dispersed at that point, but you're still going to be approved for your equipment financing and your leasehold improvement. And you can kind of do that in draws so that you're not paying interest on the entire amount of the approved loan right away. You're only paying interest on the amount that you're using at the moment. So let's say you're taking 6 months to build that project. Phase one is buying the real estate. The leasehold improvements are going to be invoiced 3 months later. Then we would submit for that. Then the interest would start to accumulate for that as well. So it's a flexible program. The interest-free period, we don't have that. We can, based off of the business case, if you are just getting started, we can structure the payments so they are lower at the beginning. But again, we have to build the business case for that. So that's a very much on a case by case basis.
Okay, so I think you answered that second part Do you offer a grace period or interest-only payment period for this program? That's you just answered. Also, what weight do you give to factors you just highlighted? For example, personal credit history, personal net worth versus profitability of the business as shown in financial statements. Is there a weighting?
Yeah. Not formally. So like if the business is able to cash flow the loan on its own with, let's say, like very healthy margins, then the personal net worth would be less of a factor. That being said, regardless of, if your business is able to cash flow the loan, we need to be able to show with this program specifically, because it is backed by the government, we have like very strict reporting guidelines. We need to show that there's that 25% personal guarantee, whether it's through you'd be able to access dividends from your business or you have a home equity line that has access to that money. We need to show that somewhere. So at times we can get creative, but I always hate to say that's a case by case basis, but
it's true.
We weigh all those different factors. So often if one is lesser, if we can mitigate it with another, if cash flows are high and personal net worth is, we could show the 25%, but otherwise, we speak to that whenever we're looking to get it approved.
Yeah, I'm hearing it's not a formula per se, for sure.
Yeah, no.
Here's another question. Cynthia's asking, what's the benefit of getting a loan through RBC versus BDC? Are there different rates? What would you say?
Yeah. So we work with BDC all the time. Great partners for those in Kingston. We work very closely with Miriam and Zach, who do a lot of lending. So I think it depends on what you're looking to finance. When it comes to real estate, for example, we tend to have much more competitive rates than BDC. BDC can move faster than we can. We have a whole list of documents that we go through their approval process because they only do term loans. It goes a lot more quickly. They have less clients. So they can tend to move a little bit more quickly than we can, but we beat them on rates almost every time. So that's specific to real estate, but there's some things that BDC does really well. There are some types of assets that RBC doesn't really have an appetite for, where BDC, again, because they're government backed, has more flexibility. So there's benefits to both. I think it comes down to timelines, what your rate sensitivity is. So if you have the benefit of time, I would definitely encourage a conversation with a chartered bank prior to accepting what BDC offers, because there's always competitiveness there.
Okay, we got at least two more questions that we want to slide in here. So another question, can you give a range of the interest rates offered on these loans for successful candidates?
Yeah. So the loans, so it's fixed. So the Canada Small Business Financing Loan Program is offered through all the chartered banks. So you don't need to be an RBC client to access these. So the interest rate on this is prime plus 3%. So right now, prime is 4.45. So we'd be looking at 7.45%. So it is higher than if you were to get financing through traditional means. That being said, the threshold to get the loan is much lower. So it's a great option if you have the assets, want to keep your personal investment to a minimum, so that you can keep those assets free for either if you want to, put some money into investments, continue to grow your business in the other areas. It decreases the amount that you need to have available. It also gives those higher loan to values. So we talked about, equipment and leaseholds being at 90, 100%. With traditional financing, you're not getting those assets financed at such a high level. So for those reasons, and because it is backed by the government, that is the standard interest rate, higher than others, but a really great option to consider if other loans aren't accessible to you.
Great, thanks for that. And Florina is asking, is it possible to get financing for equipment that would be leased out to clients? And I don't know, Valerie, if you need more information there, but what are your thoughts on that?
So if you are financing equipment that like you are leasing to clients. So if this is part of your it could be considered inventory in that case. So I would need more information about what the specific asset is. Like inventory can be financed. We could maybe get it financed up to 90%. So I would need more details on that. Again, that's kind of where we kind of finesse, what the use is for. But I would say, generally speaking, yes, like it would be an eligible loan expense. Whether it could be financed as equipment at 90% or perhaps inventory at a lower loan to value would be my question. But it's definitely an eligible expense under this loan program.
Okay. And Florida, if you want to follow up with anything in the Zoom chat, feel free. If not, we'll go to CJ who has a question. Can the loan cover online business purchases or only physical businesses? So bricks and mortar versus an online business, I think is the question.
It's a great question. We would need to, so if it was like an online business that, it depends on what the business is selling, I think.
CJ, can you give us a little more detail there, maybe in the chat?
It's a great question. I'm dying to know more.
I think you're going to have a few appointments after this with some questions, but that's what Valerie's here for as well, right?
Yeah. This is great.
I'm not seeing any further detail unless they're typing, so we'll wait a couple minutes.
Yeah, I would say, and I definitely could be proven wrong on this, a lot of those online businesses, a lot of those expenses would be considered intangible, right? This program is really designated for, or at least more traditionally for like hard assets. So there is limits to what we're able to do with intangibles with the Canada Small Business Financing Loan. So depending on what is included in that purchase would determine what amount of that we would be able to finance. Okay. If there's inventory involved with that online business that perhaps you're shipping, then that would definitely be considered an eligible expense. But CJ, hope to learn more. That's a really interesting question that I will get to the bottom to because it's a good one.
Great. Great questions today. I'll just pause. We have a couple more minutes in case there is a final question that Valerie can take on. We're putting her on the hot seat today, which is good. She obviously knows her stuff very well. If not, like I say, we would love for you to reach out to Valerie. I'm sure some of you already have copied down her information. As she mentioned, I can distribute. What I'll do is if you would like a copy of this presentation, reach out to me and I'll get it to you. Valerie will send that to me probably later today. Of course, it's being recorded, so if you've missed one or two of the slides, you can also check out the Zoom recording, which will be on our YouTube channel later today. If you don't know where to find our YouTube channel, you can reach out to me. So I don't see any further questions. So Valerie, I think we'll wrap it up for today. And on behalf of all of us, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to explain things in I think, very clear language for us. And we just want to make sure that there are no barriers to growth and scaling for the women entrepreneurs in our community. And certainly we don't want the barrier of the unknown and lack of knowledge to be that barrier. So thank you so much, folks, for attending. I know there's a lot more that will be watching this later on the YouTube channel. Thanks on behalf of all of us and have a fantastic day. Take care, everyone. Bye now.